everybody, Chris Stokes from Custom Fitness here, and I'd like to know what you know about what can breathing do for your health. So a lot of us don't really think about that. Breathing is just something that we do on a regular basis with any luck, and don't really consider the benefits that it can add in and kind of how we would have those benefits, what we should be doing. So this comes from a personal experience from years ago whenever I went to a doctor and I was having high anxiety levels at the time, high stress levels, and went to the doctor and talked to them, and the only prescription that I was given that day was to take 5 deep breaths every morning as I woke up, and then each time that I started having more anxiety or more stress, to take 5 more deep breaths, and to do it in a specific way. And so I obviously thought that was a little odd. I wasn't at a traditional doctor, if you can tell, but from that step, I'd always been interested in, and I've actually been certified in the years through things like Tai Chi and yoga and Qigong and things of that nature. So I understand the need for breath, and breath connects our body to really this grounding sensation. And so whenever we can become more grounded fully, then our body can work better. So by breathing, by just really focusing on taking long, deep breaths, we can promote some relaxation, we can help to lower our blood pressure, we can improve our cognitive function. You can actually improve the way that the neurons are responding and that your brain's actually functioning. But we can definitely have better exercise experiences, better recovery experiences, and even get better results just by what kind of breathing we're doing. So if you're doing yoga, there's 15, 20 different kinds of breath that you can do depending on what your focus is for that moment. But you can also utilize that breath outside of yoga in everyday life, whether it's trying to reduce anxiety from a stressful day at work, or whether it is during a workout, or those kinds of things. So there's one specific breath that I really wanted to share with you today, and that is the 4-5-6 breath. And that's where you would breathe in for 4 counts. Now, how long those counts are is up to you, obviously. So you would breathe in for 4 counts, and then you would hold it for 5 counts, and then you would let it out slowly for 6 counts. And what that does is, on a cellular level, that actually starts to reduce the level of stress internally in the body. So we've talked about this before, maybe you know, maybe you don't, but stress, once you begin to become stressed, it becomes less of an idea and more of an actual tangible thing, something that your body physically has inside of it. And the only way to reduce that stress level is to start to excrete that stress out of the body. Now, it can be through sweat, it can, any way that we lose toxins through the body, we can start to lose that stress as well. But stress will actually stay within our system, much like a drug does, for many, many months. And so you could be 6 months out from a highly stressful situation, and 6 months later, maybe you're losing hair, or maybe you're noticing differences in how your body's functioning or your level of health. And that's just because you've still got that high level of stress as a physical, tangible thing within your body that's trying to work its way out. It is toxic to our body. So what does stress do? Well, stress causes us to not only have lesser cognitive function, it causes higher blood pressure, it definitely does not promote relaxation. It can actually take away from our results whenever we're working out, because we're not able to bring this type of oxygen into our muscles that we need. And our body's in this fight or flight mode, so it's not building muscle the same way that it needs to, because right now it's just trying to survive. And so whenever we start to take this 4-5-6 breath, and we use that maybe in the morning, in the afternoon, at night, as often as you can. And really, I recommend doing it for about 3 to 4 minutes and just see how you feel afterwards. But the more often that you can do that throughout the day, the more that you allow that stress to actually leave the body, you start to see things a little clearer so that you don't become stressed over things that you really shouldn't be. So a lot of stresses we have options on. A lot of them are our choices on whether or not to be stressed about. Then there are some that are definitely not our choice, and we kind of have to work around, and we've got to figure out a way through that. And so we've got to start to kind of look at that situation and see, is this a stress that I can choose to have or choose not to have? Or is this a stress that's kind of mandated and I don't really have a choice on? And then figure out from there how we're going to deal with that situation. And one of the best ways to deal with that is through this 4-5-6 breath. So again, you'd breathe in for 4 counts, you'd hold it for 5, and then you'd let it out for 6. And by doing that, you start to reduce the stress level within the body. Promote relaxation, lower your blood pressure, increase your cognitive function. But did you know that getting deep breaths, bringing in oxygen into the body in a clear, concise manner, and making sure that you're getting enough oxygen into the body during your workout can actually help to promote your results? So by doing that, you allow your body to go deeper into exercises, to be able to sustain exercise for longer so the muscles can actually continue to work for a longer period of time. And the body will then start to be able to show those results because you're being able to do more work than what you would otherwise. So that's where a lot of times, especially if you're working with one of our team, we're talking to you about your breath and what kind of breath you're using, to where you're really utilizing the oxygenation of the blood to be able to help the body to move better. And as you do that, you start to, again, get deeper into those exercises and be able to continue them longer, and then you start to see those results faster. So you're able to build more muscle because your body's in more of a relaxed state, and it knows that it can do extra things other than just survival mode. And you're able to burn more fat because you don't need that fat in order to survive at that moment. The body says, okay, she's relaxed and she can continue to do what she's doing, and we don't need that extra storage, so go ahead and let it go. Now, one more thing about stress is that whenever you are stressed, that whole deal about cortisol building belly fat, well, it's actually kind of true. So stress promotes the need for cortisol because cortisol helps the body to fight against stress, helps to kind of maintain a homeostatic balance, if you will. And so in order to make cortisol, your body has to then store fat because cortisol is made from fat. So where does it choose to store it? Typically around the waist and the hips. So that's where we start to see that increase. Whenever we're stressed, we do tend to eat more comfort foods and possibly more of those foods, but our body's going to store more of that excess food that it normally would allow to be shifted out of the body. It's going to store that in need for that cortisol to be built. So if we want to lose around the waistline, if we want to improve our health and improve our results, it starts with your breathing. Okay, so we're going to breathe in for 4 counts, hold it for 5, and exhale it for 6. And make sure that you're doing that about 3 to 4 minutes, at least a couple of times a day. If you can fit it in 3 or more, go for it. That just means you're a superhero. So, wanted to remind you that we are starting our countdown to Christmas this week. We've got lots of events. Tomorrow night, we have room for about 8 people is all in our suspension training course, and that's where we're going to teach you the ins and outs of suspension training using a TRX type model. There's several different brands out there, so we won't be specifically teaching on the TRX, but suspension training is great for the core, for the body to build flexibility and strength without causing extra harm to the joints. So it's really a great way to train whether you're a newbie or you're advanced in all of this. So if you'd like to get more information on that, I went ahead and posted a picture of our entire schedule down below this, so feel free to jump on that and let us know if you want to get in on either that, or we've also got a HIIT training workshop coming up this Friday, teaching you how to make HIIT training beneficial for you. We've kind of, it's just kind of flooded the industry. All of a sudden there's HIIT training everywhere, and should you do it, should you not? Is it going to be helpful to you? Well, that's what this workshop's going to teach you. So we really want to help you out with that. Now, we believe in helping out a great cause as well, and so for this year we are working on all of these events that we're hosting are going to help give money towards our Secret Santa project, which is helping a trainer of ours who's lost his father that is having to pay for those funeral costs. And so we're trying to help him to not be in debt and to be able to still enjoy the holidays and be with his family and those kinds of things. So in order to do that, we're just putting these events together to donate that money to him so that he can help to pay off that debt and not be stressed about that this winter. So if that's something that you would like to be a part of, we've also got new shirts coming out. We've got some nutrition courses coming up. So anything on that flyer, feel free to register for. I believe the link's in there as well. And if any reason you have trouble, just give us a call at the studio, 806-322-3188. And we are also starting early bird registration for Downsize. So if you are interested in losing up to 15 inches, possibly for free, because if you do, you get your money back. In 6 weeks, full meal planning, unlimited small group training, grocery store tour, you name it, it's in there. Feel free to give us a call, 806-322-3188. We've got a special something for the first 5 who enroll in the early bird specials. So I will be talking to you soon. I hope you got something good out of today. Go home and start breathing.